Good morning. Welcome to Energy Workz. Today we're talking about deciphering resistance. So many of us are experiencing difficulties at this time. Many of us are struggling with feelings and difficulties that we are experiencing due to the restrictions and different aspects of the social distancing and health concerns at this time. And, some people are on the front of dealing with sickness and illness and people and I guess risking their lives dealing with these illnesses, and other people are stuck at home and feeling great resistance and fear and I guess worry for the future and uncertainty. Some people just feel anxiety. Some people feel peace, that they're at home with their family and are unable now to do anything else, so they're enjoying that peacefulness at home. So wanted to be able to clear some energy around this, because I think a lot of our resistance to change is brought up at this time because of the fears and the feelings that we're facing. And, sometimes we just want things to go back to normal, but perhaps there are some things that shouldn't go back to normal. There are some things that should be permanently change, how we appreciate life, how we appreciate family, how we appreciate health, how we appreciate freedom to drive wherever we like, how we appreciate the freedom to visit, eat out, socialize, go to movies, sporting events, gyms, all the places and the things that we would normally do that have been restricted. Perhaps we can appreciate those things even more. Many people have started doing their education online or doing their gym online or their schoolwork online or even their work online. Like some people won't come in for appointments with me, for example, and I've done them either by, messenger or phone. And so, many of us are having to change how we do this. And so it's interesting to feel the resistance that some people will feel to making the changes and doing the things that we need to do. So I wanted to clear some energy around this. If there were things that you feel that you have resistance in, what would they be? Where are you stuck? Where are you feeling that you can't make the changes? And, how are you having trouble understanding why you're feeling resistance? Are you feeling resistance? Maybe you're not feeling any resistance. I know I've definitely had resistance. All right, so the first thing that comes up is the throat chakra. And of course, the throat chakra involves our expression. Sometimes it's the expression of, who we really are. Sometimes it's the expression of, what really needs to happen in our lives. And, there's a lot of self-doubt that comes in here. All right, I no longer fear rejection when I speak honestly. And, I guess at this time, many people are quite vulnerable and can experience difficulties in how they're dealing with their feelings and, can be quite inflamed by other people's experiences and comments. All right, it's okay for me to sing my life song. Sometimes there's things within us that we've needed to express for a long time and haven't had the courage to do that. And maybe, this total shutdown is the opportunity to realize that life is short and we need to express what we need to express right now. Okay, Susanna's mentioned here healthy eating habits. Yeah, that's a very important one, isn't it? Because often when we feel stress, we want to eat down our feelings. All right, so there's generational component to the eating habits. Dad's side, dad's mum, not just a single person, but a group of men. All right, feeling aggravated by someone or something. And, of course, our whole lifestyle has been changed right at this moment, hasn't it? It's like we're not able to be and do what we want to do right at this time. Many of our normal life things are restricted. Okay. All right, so our third chakra or our solar plexus chakra is affected here. So feeling like we have the power to make change, or that we have the power to accomplish all that we feel to accomplish, that we have the power to make impact in our life. So you may actually feel this around your solar plexus, which is just above your navel. And some of the organs that could be involved here are liver, pancreas, gallbladder, spleen, and stomach, which of course would be involved in our healthy digestion. And if we broaden the field a little bit, it's not only digesting our food, but it's digesting our life and our experiences, which at this time are so different from anything that we've experienced in the past. All right, and we might use some rosemary oil here. Okay, Leela's mentioned bone pain. Okay. All right, so this is from Kim Redmond-Futrell's book on essential oil affirmations. I stimulate my psyche, tapping into the enormous riches of my long, accurate memory and lush imagination to create anew. And that's beautiful, isn't it? To feel that we can create something new. All right, I recall loved ones and remember my own true path. Moving into new environments, I allow my new life to emerge. We're definitely in new environments. All right, I respect my need for rest and prepare ahead of time to slow down before the end of the day, to allow my brain to settle and take its full rest. My comforting and soothing bedtime ritual facilitates this transition to the process of rest and repair. Well, that's beautiful. Thank you, Kim. So Leela's mentioned here too, you could use Digestzen, which works within half an hour, which would help us digest food and life, and maybe our experiences that we are struggling to eat, to absorb and digest at this point in time. All right, so part of our spine comes up here. So T10, which if you feel the bottom of your shoulder blades, that's T8. So another 2 vertebrae down is T10. And I'm going to use Inner Siegel's book, The Secret Language of Your Body. And she talks about different aspects of the spine. Okay, so in T10, she mentions living in the past and holding on to feelings of resentment, anger, and judgment, and blame, feeling that if you hold on to your anger, it will hurt the other person, rather than seeing how it hurts you and keeps you stuck. Refusal to change and see the other person's point of view, selfishness, arrogance, and righteousness. On the physical level, kidney problems, chronic tiredness, hardening of the arteries. I think that was describing me yesterday. Okay, so let's plug in a chiropractic adjustment for our T10. All right, and let's go into our 7th chakra, or our crown chakra. So how does resistance feel to you today? And if we say I'm okay with deciphering my resistance, that's weak. All right, so what's coming up here is the inability to see we're all family. And I guess there can be some anger at this point towards the Chinese, and there can be some anger towards drug companies at this point and their seeming lack of care about people and more about money and profit. All right, also what's coming up here is depression. And I guess depression is getting stuck in the past. And also the feeling of needing to control situations. And I guess if anything, this whole situation teaches us that we have no control and that we have the opportunity to live in faith, which can be tricky. Also use Jenny Rosengren's book, 1,000 Categorized Positive and Negative Beliefs. All right, I'm a spiritual being having an earthly experience. And sometimes we forget that. We just think it's all about what's happening right here and now, and we forget that this is just part of our existence and that there will be more things to look at and understand. If I say I'm okay with my resistance, that's quite strong. I'm okay without my resistance, that's weak. So sometimes we need the resistance. And this is generational. So dad's side, dad's dad, and the women. All right, so Leela's mentioned bone pain here. So any other people on the call, where are you feeling it in your body? And are you able to talk to us about where you're feeling it in your body? Or, is it in your energy field and you're aware of that? Or, is it in your mind? Where is it that you're feeling this resistance that you have? Now, also from our genes are some stuck emotions. All right, so feelings of anxiety, more generational baggage here, mum's side, mum's mum, and the women. Let's mention for Rosemary some energy, confidence, feeling fortified, sincere, and aware. Yeah, I think fortified is a really good feeling to feel at this moment. So let's say now I understand my resistance. Again, this is generational, dad's side, dad's mum, and the women. Some stuck emotions in our genes again, not wanting to listen to others. Also, not wanting to abide the turmoil in the home. And yeah, sometimes it is difficult to deal with the things that are causing, difficulties for us. So, thanks, TJ. My mind, I'm angry at how we all have to be locked down. I also don't feel we're being told the whole story. Yeah, I agree with that. Amanda, all right, energy feels house irritated by small things. Okay. So let's say as a questionation, why do I so easily cope with injustice? So something in our timeline here, time of birth, age 12, 18, 23, age 32, 42. I easily feel strengthened despite opposition. I easily protect my environment in my home. Okay, some generational stuff again here. Dad's side, dad's dad, and the women. Let's say my mind finds the solutions for peace and tranquility. I easily find solutions to all aspects of my life. And our timeline comes up here. Age 17, age 23. And some stuck emotions again. All right, and it comes back to being, allowing ourselves to be the being that we are. So I guess allowing ourselves to be is really what comes up. Observing the feelings that we have, observing where it is in our body, and listening to our inner child if that's who's speaking to us, or listening to the inspiration that we feel, listening to promptings that we receive on who to contact, or things to read, or music to listen to, or poems to read, or going for a walk at the right time that you feel you're not trapped anymore. All right, so now we're going to talk about the cranial bones again. So sometimes when we're very stressed, the cranial bones no longer, the sutures don't move properly as we breathe, and they can become jammed. And then the bones in our head, when they don't move, we can pour a function to our body from our brain. All right, so this is in head or headaches, fear. All right, and let's say even though I'm full of fear, I love and accept myself. Now, when we go into fear, which is understandable at this point of time, we are unable to be aware of other people's feelings and needs. So it comes down to saving ourselves and maybe saving our immediate family. And I guess forgiving ourselves that we feel fear. We feel like we should be brave and be able to do, the best that we can, even though it is scary. So they were talking about I don't know if it's the Japanese symbol for challenge is challenge and danger intermixed. And I guess that's a very good, helping us to see the challenge in it rather than just the danger, so that we can rise to the challenge. Because when we, fear can help us to run away if we need to, and also, helps us become more aware of what's going on when we go into that mode. But being able to see past the fear and to use it as a stimulus to make change can be important. So TJ's mentioned interesting information that our cranial seams can move, causing us pain. Yes, the more that they can't move, they need to move as we breathe, and they get jammed and can't move. All right, so something in our neck now, C3. So if you feel under the base of your skull and you move down 3 bones, that's C3. Buying into other people's negative beliefs, experiencing low self-esteem, feeling limited, impatient, irritated. So we could have headache or skin issues. In the ear, you could have decreased hearing or tinnitus or vertigo. All right, so I'm going back to that statement that we made. I understand my resistance. So that's still not strong yet. So this is generational now, generational resistance. Dad's side, dad's dad, and the women. All right, also more things in our lifetime. Age 12, age 16, 23, 30, age 40, 44. Okay. All right, so more areas of our spine are coming up. So C5. So again, if you feel the large bump at the base of your neck and you move up 2 vertebrae, that's C5. C5 we understand is like a sugar circuit. So often when we're stressed, we want to eat sugar or eat bad carbs. Sore throat is coming up here from C5. Have any of you had a sore throat? All right, so we might use endocrine oil here. So this is from Essential Emotions. Zendocrine was designed to cleanse the organs and systems of the body. All right, yes, a few sore throats here. Okay. Emotionally, this blend assists during times of transition and change. It can assist an individual in detoxing old habits and limiting beliefs. When an individual has felt trapped by self-sabotaging behaviours, Zendocrine paves the way for new life experiences. It aids in letting go of behaviours that are destructive to one's health and happiness. It is especially helpful during major life changes which require adjustments in habit and lifestyle, such as altering diet, quitting smoking, or leaving a toxic relationship. So Zendocrine reawakens vital life energy. It also assists an individual in discovering new energy and vitality by encouraging the release of physical and emotional toxins. This blend aids in shedding apathy and any destructive habit, helping a person find new enthusiasm for life. As individuals let go of limiting beliefs, behaviours and lifestyle, they have greater room to receive. As a result, they are able to see life from a fresh perspective and embrace new experiences. Okay, so I think the sore throat sounds particularly pertinent at this point in time. Also, if we go into throat. So what's also coming up in the throat is swallowed anger. And sometimes we feel like we can't express our anger. So Tabitha said she muscle tested for this yesterday. Sounds like she needs to take a bath in this. Oh, I think we're all struggling with change. The world is never going to be the same again after this. All right, feeling unable to express the self. All right, we're in a safe situation here. What is it that you feel angry about? What do you need to express? What is the anger that you feel? So for me, I feel anger about conspiring people, trying to take advantage of poorer or less powerful people. And I guess the only thing we can do is to show love and empathy and support to people in our small corner of our world, beginning in our own home and with ourselves. And as we are able to show love to ourselves and acceptance, then we're more able to show love and acceptance to other people. So let's say even though many of us are trapped at home, we feel peace. All right, so in our aura, layers of the aura, fifth layer. So the etheric template is the fifth layer, so it's the master copy of the physical body. So stagnant accumulation of energy. I think Donna Eden and Carolyn Cooper both talk about fluffing up your aura, and they do this rolling motion and they go through all the parts of their aura all the way down to their feet to help fluff up the aura. And so, I guess it's almost, go outside and ground yourself and allow yourself to discharge all that negative energy that's been stuck. Today we're also dedicating our energy clearing to those in the UK that are now being subject to testing of a vaccination that is available. But of course the concerns are that these vaccinations have not been tested adequately and they're using people to be tested on. which of course there have been previous testings of these coronavirus vaccines in the past that have been highly unsuccessful. So we hope that at the very least that people will be unharmed by these tests. And let's say all are protected. Time of birth comes up, age 8, age 13, age 17, age 23, age 42. All right, so these are different times in our life where we may have felt unprotected. We was mentioned that the SARS vaccinations cause horrific side effects. Yeah, and I think people feel very desperate at this time, and sometimes the projections for the amount of deaths have been wildly overestimated, and virologists were quoted rather than epidemiologists that know more about how these things happen. And so then, a lot of fear is being promoted and is used as a way to push through a medication that perhaps may not get through normally. All right, so what's coming up here is belief in mass negativity. And maybe we can pray and meditate for the world, that we can, help lift the vibration of the world. Lila mentioned she saw a clip in Turkey where people go into a booth to be disinfected. She feels horrified. Yeah. And I think that's an unhealthy thing, that we're made to feel like we are a disease, or that we have a disease, and that we're going around infecting people. I think that's a highly unhealthy way to see ourselves. And, in the old days, when kids would have chicken pox, families would take their kids to the kids that had them, so they could catch the disease and get it over and done with. Some of the epidemiologists are saying that, if we had only isolated the people that are vulnerable, that we would already be past and we would have herd immunity already. Okay. All right, so an underlying feeling here in this mass negativity is feeling I'm not enough. And we can feel that we can't change the powerful things that are happening in the world, but we can influence the small sphere around ourselves, and we can give comfort and support and provide space for those around us to process the feelings that they're feeling. Because as we process the feelings that we feel, we're able to go into a more powerful position of feeling that we have at least some control over how we feel. We may not be able to control external circumstances, but we can control our reaction to the circumstance as we process the feelings that we feel. Because even I have felt a great deal of anger and powerlessness, and we need to support each other as we feel these very difficult feelings that are overpowering. So, TJ is mentioning, we should have choice. Yeah. We should be free to make our own choices. Yeah, I agree. So, and I think this is a time where we really need to hunker down and, have that divine connection to receive, our own personal inspiration and guidance for our own bodies and for our families and for those that we love, that we can help them to feel safe and comfortable amongst these difficulties, to feel that they are not just, a number without power. Feeling good, they're a light workers holding up the good vibrations, the good cowboys stepping in. Yeah. And I guess, each of us are an advocate for good. As we calm ourselves down and we hook back into prayer, meditation, and making those connections. I've just had a mental blank on his name. The chiropractor Joe Dispenza, he was talking about, they've done studies with the immune system, and they said by having time of turning inward, thinking, releasing the negative thoughts, thinking good positive thoughts, that they can test the immune system, and the immune system can improve 50% within 4 days by taking that time a few times a day to tune in and to, receive those positive messages, and to allow ourselves to feel that we have divine inspiration. So this makes huge improvements on our immune system. And, it's about us having a healthy immune system. And, each of us taking responsibility for our health and for our happiness and for our peace of mind. And so let's say I make a difference. So we're not believing that just yet. So generational component, dad's dad. All right, so the men on dad's side of the family, and some stuck emotion in our genes. All right, feelings of despair. Stubbornness is coming up here. And, I have a lot of stubbornness. I think, not wanting to change, wanting to dig my heels in. Worry is coming up that's stuck in our genes. Low self-esteem, sorrow, more generational stuff. Dad's mum and the women. Low self-esteem again. All right, so I would like you to imagine in a moment of stillness that you, one single person, send out a vibration, and the vibration that you send out can either be of fear or it can be of peace. And so trying to get yourself back to a peaceful moment or a peaceful situation so that the vibration that you're sending out is one of peace. And feeling peace can help us not to be overrun by the things that are affecting us. And from that place of peace, we can uplift other people. We can write letters to local people about our concerns and express our faith in them to make change and encourage them to act on our behalf. And only through expressing ourselves and being our true selves are we able to make any difference. And when we go into fear, we're unable to move at all, and we are not operating from a safe place. I feel there's a lot of grief about how the world is at the moment, feeling grief for the loss of our freedom, loss of health for some people, loss of trust in the world as we know it, and loss of trust in our ability to overcome whatever happens. And I think it's important for us to go back to a place of trust and connection to the divine. So let's say, why do I so easily connect to the divine? And something in our genes, dad's side, dad's dad, and the men. And I guess if you think back like my dad's dad, the war would have been in their time. I don't know that he had to go to war, but some of his sons were captured and were able to escape. But there would be a lot of fear trapped in our genes from previous times when the world had gone crazy. So Leela has a simple mantra. She says, God will help us. And I believe that. And we need to feel that personally in our lives, that we are helped and that we're cared for. All right, so we're back in the aura. So vibration. So we're vibrating around 120 at the moment. So, of course, highest vibration is 1,000. The highest vibration is about peace and enlightenment. So 120 is a bit low. So let's look up something about that. So this is fear, the level of fear. People living under dictatorship rule or those involved in abusive relationships find themselves at this level. There is a sense of paranoia here where you think everyone is out to get you. Suspicion and defensiveness are common. We can see this even when you go for a walk. Some people are happy to just walk right past you, and some people take a big swerve out to the side because they're frightened to catch a bug from you. So the world is stuck in fear. Okay, so everyone take a big breath in and out as we move the energy. All right, neutrality. This is the level of flexibility. To be neutral, you are for the most part unattached to outcomes. At this level, you are satisfied with your current life situation and tend not to have a lot of motivation towards self-improvement or excellence in your career. You realize the possibilities but don't make the sacrifices required to reach a higher level. So neutrality is better than fear, but let's lift the vibration again. So big breath in and out. All right, so now we're getting to acceptance. So we're up to about 370 now. All right, if courage is the realization that you're the source of your life's experiences, then it is here where we become the creator of them. So combined with the skills learning, the willingness phase, you begin to awaken your potential through action. Here's where you begin to set and achieve goals and to actively push yourself beyond your previous limitations. Up to this point, you've been generally reactive to what life throws at you. Here's where you turn that around, take control, and become proactive. And I think, it's important for all of us to feel that we have power, and even if it's only just within our own home, that we have the power to change the vibration in our home, to lift the vibration in our home, to make it a happier, more peaceful place. So big breath in and out. All right, so now we're getting to the level of up to 540, which is the level of love. And I think this is really important to be at the level of love. So here is where you start applying what you learned in your reasoning, and you let your heart take over rather than the mind. You live by intention. This is the level of charity, a selfless love that has no desire except for the welfare of those around them. Gandhi and Mother Teresa are examples of people that were living at this level. Only 0.4% of the world will ever reach it. Well, I think you guys are the 0.4%, and you're the people that can show love and make a difference. And even if we just show love in that small sphere that we have an experience and influence in, we can make a difference in our world. And as we live our vibration of love, others will be influenced by our love. And I think often that there is no baby that's born evil. People that make the wrong decisions that they're making at this point in time are making them from experiences that they've had in their lives of lack of power and wanting to control at all costs. So as we show love and pray and meditate and send out a good vibration to the world, we can help the world as a whole to choose better. All right. So, and I guess even if that's one small thing that you do when you go out on your walk or you go out to the shops, if we smile to others, we can show love that way. Okay. Well, thank you to all those that have been on the call. All right. How are the sore throat people feeling? How's the bone pain? Any other aspects of your body that were complaining, please, the people that were mentioned, could you check in with me and let me know how you're going? Oh, I love that, TJ. She said, we choose our attitude. Let's all choose to walk with faith, knowing God has our back. Beautiful. And he does. And I think, all the difficult times in our lives cause great growth. And so, it's the opportunity for us to grow in this time and to be strengthened, and for our stride to be lengthened and our backbone to be strengthened. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for being on the call and for the support. I believe in you, and I believe you have great opportunity to be of good influence in your community and in your home and with all those you interact with. Keep being yourself and, express when you feel fearful, address what it is that you're fearful about, get someone to clear your energy if you're stuck. I have to get my energy cleared almost daily because there are many things that come to the front that I struggle with, and whether it's fear or anger or low self-esteem, those things need to be addressed, and they're there for a reason. You're welcome to have a free call if you go to calendly.com, calendly.com/Tanya Ormsby /clarity call. It's the opportunity to have a 20-minute call to, look at where you're stuck and, to get a bit of clarity in your feelings at this time. Or if you're ready to, jump in and do a bit deeper work, you can go to a1health.com.au and you can book in a session remotely or in person. We're still open. Okay, all the best. Let me know if you're interested in any of those offers. Okay, see you.